One power, invisible, and just see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and just speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power.
Good morning. Hey, everybody. Time to get settled in, right? Such is the nature of life that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. You are that opportunity, and so am I. And so it is. Welcome, everyone, to CSL Midtown, coming to you this morning from Atlanta, Georgia. And we are so glad that you have joined us today. We welcome all people, no matter who you are or where you are in your life. We welcome all those who are here in person, or if you're listening online, either right now or to our recording. Our center is very diverse and reflects the beauty of that in the world. So we welcome you, whoever you are and whatever path brought you to be here today. Know that you are in the right place and this is the right time for you. We know that you are an individual expression of the divine life in which we all live. And you are welcome to participate here today and to become a part of this community. We hope that those of you who are watching this broadcast on one of those social media platforms that we all love, that you would share and like this and share it with your friends. For a better understanding of who we are and what we teach, let's listen now to our Declaration of Principles as written by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes.
A few of the Declaration of Principles we live by.
I believe in one God, one absolute power, and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life, and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding.
I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
So grateful. My name is Judy Ailey, and I'm the moderator and practitioner for today's service. Welcome to August. It's raining here in Atlanta, but we really need the rain. It's beautiful. This month's theme is On the Wings of Love, and this week's theme is the launch of love. And before I get into this, I just want to thank Barbara Guillory for all of her excellent practitioner work that she's done over the previous months. She's taking a bit of a little break from being up here every Sunday on the first Sunday, and due to so many wonderful new opportunities in her life. But I really wanted to thank her and acknowledge her contribution here. You know, thank you, Barbara. It takes a lot of people to bring these services together every Sunday. And Barbara, you have played an important role and you continue to play an important role. So thank you, Barbara. Anyway, yeah. And so you have to listen to me for a while, and some other people too, not just me. Trust me. And anyway, back to what we were talking about, love. An idea from this week's theme is that love starts within and radiates outward. The affirmation for this week is, I am amazed by my journey in love today. If it's true that God is all there is and that God is love, Why do we put any conditions on loving the expressions of God all around us? So, all means all. God is ultimately the divine energy of love. The question I ask myself is, can we live 24 hours a day in a state of love? Every movement, every glance, every thought, every word, can these all be infused with love? This seems really hard to me because at times there appears to be so much that is unlovable around us and even in us. Can we somehow embody the love that God is and the love that we are and embrace this and spread it to life all around us? If we did this for a day, even an hour, for even a few minutes, what would our world be like? How would we transform? I know for me in prayer and spiritual mind treatment, I believe that we enter into an atmosphere of love. We know that we are dealing with the power of love as we pray, and we know and embrace the idea that love is the truth of all life and that love can transform things. And do we take the time to know and love ourselves as well? Do we accept and love all parts of ourselves, even those parts that sometimes we find hard to accept about ourselves? Do we treat ourselves with loving kindness as well as others? This is where I ended up today with these thoughts on love, with these questions. So let us join together now excuse me, as I'm going to bring this part of it to a close, and I'm going to lead us now in a spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. So, if you would just allow yourself to be present, put your feet flat on the floor, take a couple of nice, slow, deep breaths, and join me in knowing the truth about yourself and the truth about love. I recognize and know that God is all that there is, that this presence and this universal power of goodness is everywhere present. It is all around me, expressing through life in what appears to be outside of myself. And of course, it is within me as well. This power is a power of love, it is a power of vibrant health and transformation. It is abundance, it is joy, it is creativity of every kind and good of every kind. And I know that I am and that we are each one with this presence and one with this power, and that we are never separated from it, and that this oneness that we have provides us with new ideas, with divine guidance, with the knowledge that we are supported, and that as we envision our lives expanding in greater health and in greater abundance and in greater meaning and in greater joy and just fun, that the universe says yes to this. So we just turn away from the other ideas that may be lurking in there, ideas of lack, limitation, fear, worry, dread, that if we have those, the universe says yes to those too. So we turn away from all of that. And instead, we embrace lives that are full of meaning, full of joy, and full of love. And I just am grateful for this. I'm grateful for being here this morning. I'm grateful for knowing the truth and recognizing it in all who are here in this room with me today, all who are listening through the ethers, through these waves that we call Zoom and YouTube, that we can all be together from all parts of the world. And I'm just grateful for this. I'm grateful for the technology that allows this. So it is with great thanksgiving that I release this treatment now, knowing that it is so, and so it is. And we have a song here, Faith Rivera, Music for Reflection.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Talking about that peace. That's right. Set your spirit free, y'all.
If we wanna make a change, be the change we seek. If we get this thing called love, turn the other cheek, spin the world right upside down. Maybe then we'll see another way to be. If we're gonna have this dream, wake to make it real. If we're marching for some peace, start at home with me. If we soothe the war inside to bring some harmony, with a point where it begins. Shanti Ramani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set your spirit free, y'all.
Shanti Ramani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right.
People say it's Judgment Day, time for us to choose. We can win together now, but separately we'll lose. Given to the doubt and fear, we'll show that heaven's here. With every word we say, with every move we make, with every breath we take. Shanti Ramani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set your spirit free, y'all.
Shanti Ramani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah.
What the bleep, hey, got it right. With water and with life, what we get is what we think. So bask your mind with light, focus on a super you. It suits the world of two. Join our peace, love and fun, till the work of peace is done. 'Cause baby, we are one. Shanti Ramani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set your spirit free, y'all.
Shanti Ramani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set your spirit free, y'all.
Shanti Ramani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set your spirit free, y'all. Come on, y'all, envy the peace, yeah. Now envy the love, yeah. Look about that new perspective. Look about that flame, y'all. Come on, now envy the light. You love your light, you love your light, yeah.
Well, that's a cool song. All right. Well, guess what? Our speaker today is Reverend Dr. John Karn. And Dr. John, not the Dr. John from New Orleans who, was that famous singer. This Dr. John is an ordained religious science minister and faculty member of the Emerson Theological Institute. He is a CPE certified hospice chaplain and a religious science practitioner through the Centers for Spiritual Living. He presently serves on the board of directors for the Emerson New Thought Center. And this is interesting. He's a founding member of Three Mountains Zen, which is a new Zen study and practice group in Atlanta. So I guess you can ask him about that, along with our old friend, well, she's not old, a young friend, Apriel Jessup Searcy. So they're up to good things. Dr. John's passion is to serve the disenfranchised, whether they're four-legged, two-legged, or cast out by society in any way. John's message to all is that you are an extension of the divine, and as such, you are greatly loved. Join me in welcoming our friend, our community member, back to the wonderful CSL Midtown program. Thank you, Dr. John Karn.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
So I'm going to start off our talk today with a Zen Buddhist parable. A farmer's horse had escaped. His neighbors saw this as misfortune and expressed sympathy. And he said, "Who knows what is good or bad?" A few days later, the horse returned with a herd of wild horses, and the neighbors were overjoyed and exclaimed about his good fortune. And he responded, "Who knows what's bad or good?" The farmer's son hold one moment. I'm going to go to paper and see if there's any chance it's my fault. Is there any chance it's my fault? All righty, I apologize for that. We're having sound issues this morning. All righty, so I'll start again. A farmer's horse ran away, and the neighbors of the farmer said, "Oh, this is just so sad, it's so bad." And the farmer said, "It's who knows whether or not it's good or bad." The farmer's horse came back with a herd of wild horses. The neighbors were happy for the farmer. And he said, "Who knows whether it's good or bad?" The farmer's son broke his leg trying to train the wild horses. And the neighbors said, "Oh, that's just so bad and so sad." And he said, "Who knows whether it's good or bad?" Then soldiers came through their village, gathering young men to go to war on behalf of the army, but they rejected his son because his leg was broken. So the neighbors said, "This is great news." And he said, "Who knows whether or not it's good or bad?" I tell you what, I'm going to need my PC. Is it okay? All right. Thanks. And so that story is about not labeling events that occur in your life as good or bad, because later down the road they can swap. That thing that I thought was so bad turns out it was a good thing. The thing that I thought was so good turns out wasn't a good thing. So how do we deal with the challenges we're dealing with right now? And we might be looking at it and thinking that's a bad thing, but later it becomes a good thing in time. I think for myself, a lot of us are judging things based on past experiences, and we have to be open more to what's going on, to new ideas. So when I was 19 years old, 1984, I had finished nursing school by then, and I was working in the ICU, medical ICU at Grady Hospital. And I went to my first Gay Pride in Atlanta. I got hired in June, so this was like the end of the month back then. And back then, corporations weren't out there. The Atlanta PD wasn't marching to say we're your friend. It was just some drag queens leather men, and gay men who hadn't been to bed yet. John Lewis was out there walking along beside us. And at the time, I didn't know who he was, but I knew his face. I had seen him on TV. And he walked on our behalf year after year after year, long after I had decided I've had enough of gay pride. That same year, I remember very specifically having this conversation at Grady with my coworkers. Coretta Scott King made a statement that she thought the gay community deserved the same civil rights as the straight community. And so remember, this was in the time of the AIDS crisis. Ministers were saying, this was the devil getting even with us. And so for her to have said that was a big deal, it made the news. Her own children didn't support her in that. When they went for some sort of follow-up comment, they weren't in alignment with that. But if you look at gay men with AIDS or any of the gay-specific issues at that time we thought was gay and gay issue, they weren't able to stay with their partner at the hospital. They were not able to be listed as next of kin on the paperwork. If they were not able to stay in the home they had together, and usually all that stuff went to the family of the person that died, and that family they had often hadn't seen in 20 years. So what I like to think of today is that John Lewis and Mrs. King, and I call her Mrs. King because I worked with her for a while. I got the privilege of working with her. They were holding a higher thought for us. A thought up here is the way my teacher used to say it. They were holding a thought of civil rights for all. And at that time, I couldn't grasp that thought. I thought something was terribly wrong with me. I had never fit in anywhere. The only way I was going to have a life was to go somewhere else where nobody knew me. And then maybe I could have a decent life. And so, Mrs. King died of cancer. I want to say probably like 2009, 2010, but I could be wrong. John Lewis kept marching. And as we got closer to 2015, remember they were affirming us all that time. As we got closer to it, I started thinking, yes, I deserve to be married. I deserve to have whatever rights that brings about. And so I got that thought. And it came to me. And so I was thinking, how long did they hold that thought? That was a powerful, powerful lesson. How long can you hold a thought if you're a practitioner or a minister, or just somebody saying an affirmation? Can you hold it a week? You say it one time and we're done? Well, it might be, you never know. But when do you give up on that thought? A month out? A year out? 5 years out? They didn't let go. And they held on to it long past what we thought was necessary. I would have just assumed it's never going to happen. And in fact, I did think that, and I thought, well, at least my niece, it will happen for her, but I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime. So how do you hold that thought so firmly? Not being distracted. I think of Mrs. King, always very settled, very elegant, at peace. I never saw her ever getting thrown off by circumstances. If people were getting killed by the police in various places like Philadelphia and LA, she would go up there with a training program, rubber bullets, tasers. She brought all of that out, pepper spray, anything you could do that wouldn't kill the person the police were after. She would just take off and go handle that, and she was never, never off center. So as we look at the news now, We see a lot going on, ICE in LA. We're seeing people sent to countries far, far away from their home. And it's very upsetting to some of us. To me, it's upsetting. I'm amazed that there are other wonderful people out there that say this should have happened a long time ago. And it's like a 50-50% of the population split. And so for me, that kind of stuff can throw me off. It upsets me. I go off onto a tangent in my mind, and it harms me ultimately because I have gone off on a tangent. I'm not holding on to what my affirmation is or my treatment is. I'm not paying attention to that vision board. So it's actually hurting me. And when I look back at our training, we always had one student come in and say, raise their hand and say, what about Hitler? Right? That happened week after week after week. And we know that things shifted and corrected with time. And I think it applies now. We might want to say, I can't deal with this Trump stuff, but I was dealing with Hitler stuff long after it happened. I was able to say, yes, that was bad, but it wasn't all consuming me because it was behind me. So we have to have that in any situation we're in right now that challenges us, that makes it hard for us to have a better and better and better existence. Daryl Jones was a CSL minister. He still is. He used to work at the home office. And he's an author, and he wrote, there is so much God to consider. He's right. He's talking about omnipresence. There is no absence of God. When ICE was in LA, there's no absence of God in that. So when did we release God from the present moment? Yea, though I walk through the valley and the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. That power and presence is already within me and within you. And it's within all those people in the dark alley. It's hidden in plain sight. In Islam, they say it's closer to you than your neck vein. When I was working with the homeless, I would literally walk through many a dark alley at night as I checked in on people that didn't make it in for dinner. Sometimes I had something to give to somebody and I needed to go out and find them. I was never afraid, not once. I think I was consumed in the love of that activity. And I was happy to drive my car in a dark alley, just stop, pop out, and go over and give certain people certain things. And one of my friends mentioned to me, driving a Mercedes, and you're a man in your 50s at that time, the police may think you're a customer. You fall into that category where you might be a customer. And so we came up with the idea to hang a chaplain's skull on the rearview mirror. So if any police came looking around, they could see that. But anyway, these people were wonderful. I loved them. I felt the love coming from them. It draws together like the law of attraction. I did my best to hold consciousness for them, but not try to treat for them. Because unless someone asks you to treat for them, you leave them alone. But I can hold the consciousness of love and respect. And I think that builds. I don't know how long it takes, but I think it builds. And I watched people get a home somewhere between 2 or 3 years of being out on the street. And then also some people weren't going to get in a home, and so they just remained on the street. Zen Buddhism teaches that all beings, children, parents, even those who enact harmful policies, possess the Buddha nature, especially those that are vulnerable or suffering. To harm the least among us has more negative outcomes to the person doing the cruelty because that person is innocent or in need of help. And in religious science, we say we are all containers for the love of God. We're containers for the wisdom of God. We're containers for the creativity of God. It's our job to let it out in rich abundance. It's interesting to me that it's the same for Zen Buddhism. We also don't want to reduce the perpetrators of what we think is cruel, or the victims, or that's who we are thinking are getting the cruelty, to simple labels. But instead, we want to understand the causes of suffering in a deep and non-dualistic way. There is no us versus them in this teaching, or any of the other oneness teachings. Ernest Holmes used to say, there is no devil and God is love. So can you know the presence of love in every situation? Can you know that it is within you, no matter where you are or what you're doing? Do you sometimes forget, get thrown off, get caught up in something, and then remember, oh, I got off key there. My faith is very strong, but I've had years and years to work on it. And it is an endless curriculum, as they say. So do you believe in this teaching when you're getting the up-close parking spaces at Kroger, but not when you see something going downhill, something upsetting to you? How strong is your faith in both situations? Are you saying you're open to the good that is available to you, but not receiving it? Do you know from a very young age, we had ideas float in of things that we could do? We say these are ideas from spirit, but they could be ideas from the creative aspect of ourselves or of our higher self, depending on how you language all of that. So we had these great ideas. They were already a fully formed manifestation from beginning to the end as it hits us. And we didn't take the universe up on it. We just said, oh no, that's not for me. Or, oh no, my family doesn't do things like that. Or, oh no, I'm not prosperous enough to do that. I'll just go to the bar and drink. So I've been thinking about this, and I'm contemplating it every day, looking back, what opportunities I didn't take the universe up on. What opportunities came to me that I thought were not for me. And I encourage you to do that and to jump out and follow that passion, follow that action that's shown up for you. New thought is not passive. It embodies compassionate action, rooted in direct experience and not abstract ideas. When policies cause children to be traumatized, that's where it gets me up. Zen practitioners might bear witness to the suffering as taught by the Zen peacemakers, speak out and act, not from anger or ego, but from clarity and care. Support the healing for both victims and for those in act and harm without denying injustice. And so we go back to the farmer and his horse. And do we say it was good or it was bad, or do we leave it open? I'd rather leave it open than to limit it by labeling it as something bad. Who knows what's going to come in our future, and I think we're going to see some things from this era that are a benefit down the road. So is there possibility within the thing, the object? Yes, there's possibility. And so our affirmation for today is. I am the way that love is revealed in the world. What I need to know will unfold for me at just the right time. And so it is. Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
I don't
Reverend
believe
Dr.
it.
John.
I don't
Hang on
believe
one
it
second.
early. Okay.
All right. No more squealy mic thing. All right. Thanks, Reverend John. What a compelling talk for where we are, where we want to be each and every day. We got a couple of things. I'm going to do our new minister sacred covenant, and then I'm going to bring Lynn Bryce up here to talk about our auction. And here's our new minister sacred covenant, easy prayer, which you can download on the website, cslmidtown.org. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. And knowing that I am one with this life, that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express spirit, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of spirit as principle. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, principle is not bound by precedent. It operates according to law, and it is always available to those who are willing to align themselves with it. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister before me as inspiring spiritual oneness through wisdom, love, and authenticity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. For I am inspired to live as love in the expression of principle. I am awakening the wisdom within me by clearly communicating the principles of universal truth. I am a conduit of divine love, wisdom, and healing energy, recognizing the inherent wholeness within all beings. I am offering teachings, classes, and mystical studies grounded in spiritual principles to cultivate inner wisdom, personal transformation, and empowered living. I am extending the love, compassion, and transformative power of spirit into the wider community, fostering connections that heal, uplift, and support individuals in their unique journeys. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know they will be revealed in a way that it will express spirit and serve the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful God is gracious, and so it is. And now we're going to bring Lynn up to talk about where we're going, what we're doing, some interesting things. So here we have Lynn Bryce. Yay!
Thank you. No, I'll just put it right here. So, have you heard? We're praying and treating for a new minister. A little bit closer. Which means that we're also treating for involvement, for care, for participation, enthusiasm, and certainly resources. If only we could just be as sincere as hell and put on our best manifesting faces and pray with purpose. But that's not enough. It'll keep us focused, but there are practical considerations that the real world won't let us forget. Our new minister, he or she, will want to be compensated for their efforts. Right now, that is not within our reach. So we need to raise some money. What can we do that will involve everyone? We have people Zooming in, YouTubing in, Facebooking in, all around the country. So we need to do something that can involve everybody. And so we decided, drum roll, that we're going to have an online auction. We've enlisted the services of Better World Fundraising to help us before, during, and after the event. They come with years of experience, great reviews, and lots of hand-holding. If I'm going to be in charge of this, we're going to need lots of hand-holding, and we're going to need lots of participation. Here's the timeline. On August 1st, which was a couple of days ago, we sent out an email announcing this, and this is basically a reverberation of that. But that's when the online auction is announced. We need you to start thinking about it. What do you have that might be of value to somebody else? Is it a thing? Is it a service? An experience? All the above? Then on September 1st, we'll start taking donations online with the guidance from Better World Fundraising. And you can always email me at my CSL address, lynn@midtown.org, cslmidtown.org. Then on October 1st, the auction begins, and online bidding will last for about 2 weeks. On October 19th, the bidding closes, and the awards will be notified. So right now, all we're asking you to do is just to give it some real thought. Be creative in your consideration. I have paintings, both finished and painting to order, to offer. Maybe you have a second home that could be made available for a weekend. Or maybe you have some new kitchen appliances, that air fryer that just didn't ever make it out of the box, a KitchenAid something or other. They make a doodad for everything. Does your business have something useful or even frivolous that somebody else would love to win? I brought a visual aid. I'm going to be offering commissioned pet portraits. So this is Rosie. She offered her services today. She's probably under the bed right now. That's where she lives. But I will be offering a commissioned pet portrait. I'll be offering a commissioned human portrait. And then I have some finished paintings that are living in my studio that might look better on somebody else's walls. So I will have several things, and I hope that you folks will as well. Meanwhile, just keep thinking about what you have. Understand that this is serious. We want a new minister. We need to make it happen, and we need your help to do it. Thanks.
Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, there's a lot going on with that. It's a big piece, and Lynn took the responsibility to lead that. So thank you, Lynn, for all of that. She's not alone, but she's the face of what we're doing with that. So if you will now, we're going to do our affirmation for prosperity. You can donate online at cslmidtown.org/donate, scan the QR code, and you can set up a one-time donation or an ongoing donation to help us through what we need to keep this community alive and to bring a new minister to us. So our affirmation for prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And if you're here in the room, there's a basket in the back that you can put donations in as well. So announcements. Next week, we have Reverend Mignon Pollard coming back. She's an excellent teacher, so we'll be online next week. There's an adult study group that meets at 10 a.m., so you're welcome to join that. They're going through the Science of Mind textbook, and you don't have to have read this section to come and join and have a discussion with that. There's a good core group of people. And if you're interested in more about what we teach and what we do, that's a great group to come and join. The auction we talked about. I think that's it for now for that. You can download this yourself. Dr. Bob is going to be our speaker the first Sunday in September. So if you're in town, come and hear him speak. And that would be another good time. So for our Sunday and brunch afterwards. Right after this, we're going to do a discussion around what we're going to do. Lynn had brought that idea up. I'm going to try and coordinate that with the online people. So hang on with me for a second if you're on Zoom, or you want to join us on Zoom if you're on another channel right now. With that, let's do our affirmation of life. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of good love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding, and I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me. And so it is. Thanks, everybody.
grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. Hey! Oh yeah. Grateful. I just say I am so grateful every day for all I have. Every day. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all I have. Every day. Every day I say it. Grateful. How I'm grateful every day. Oh yeah. I am so grateful. Oh yeah. I'm so grateful. 'Cause I accept and I receive. I am so grateful. Oh yes, I am. I am. I am so grateful. Hey, grateful. I just count my blessings. Grateful. I just count my blessings.
There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.